How does the college admission process work? I'm just going to give you an insight. So, the essential questions that an admissions officer is looking for in an application is: how are your grades? Are you academically capable of studying in our university? Okay. What unique qualities do you bring to the college? What has been your impact? Because whatever you've done in the past, it's a harbinger, or it shows that you're capable of doing it in the future. So yes, they want to see what impact you've done, and does your profile have potential, right? So your application has to sing these these questions. And also it's a sum total of all 4 years. Okay, it's not like you're supposed to they're just looking at 1 year. It's all 4 years, but unfortunately when you apply to colleges, it's in the middle of October, or November 1st. If you're applying to the UCs, it's like end of November. So those are the deadlines. So you don't have a whole 4 year or a whole 12th grade to showcase here, but they do look at mid-year reports and everything. Okay, so these are the essential questions that a college admission officer is looking for, or a college is looking for. Just like parents know how to pick the best fruit, right? You go shopping, or if you're unlike me, you just outsource it to somebody. You go and you know to pick the best, juiciest apple, for instance, right? Because why? Oh, if I feed this apple to my family or my children, they're going to be like nourished and they're going to be successful. So that's how they know how to pick apples, or students, right? So you have to make yourself a really, really juicy apple, which looks good, which come home and tastes good and everything. So that's the analogy that I'm going to use. So any questions about the essential questions that the colleges ask, please type them. I will address them. Okay. And then the admissions process. Okay. So I studied in India where, of course, I went to REC Calicut, where we just needed the entrance exam results, right? You scored that. But here it's like a combination. Okay. And also it doesn't work like you just submit your application or anything. In highly selective colleges, it's a 5-step process. So there's a regional admissions officer. We go deep into this in our counseling programs that I run for colleges. They role play as admission officers and everything. So the regional admission officer is for that region, and it depends on the college how they break up the regions. Okay, so basically there may be one for Pennsylvania. I live in Pennsylvania. There could be one for Alaska, Nebraska, or if that region is too small, they will have a combined of it. So the regional admission officer is a resident of that area, but works for the college. Okay, so being a resident of that area, they know everything about the school districts, the makeup of the blend, everything. They have an inside knowledge about what is going on in that region. For example, Pennsylvania, we are in the Downingtown School District. They will know everything about the schools that are there. Or in Great Valley, I'm just telling you what are the locations around my area that I'm familiar with. Okay, so when an application is submitted through the Common App, through the portal, it gets routed to them. They will receive it. Okay, and then the regional admission officer is going to pitch the student's application to the admissions committee. Okay, so the admissions committee, you can imagine like in the main college. I'm going to take Duke. I don't know why, because I have the Duke acceptance letter, so it's easier to explain. So for example, in Duke, they have, just imagine like a long table with a bunch of people discussing like a board meeting, okay? So the regional admission officer needs to pitch the student. Like, for example, he's in pencil, he or she, can be he or she, anyone, is in Pennsylvania. They say, oh yeah, look at this student from the Downingtown school district, he will do amazing in Duke. You know what, we should select the student. And they have to produce a report as to why they're picking the student. Okay, that's all deeper and deeper and deeper that we go in our counseling. We have 2 or 3 sessions based on that. So they have to create a report on every application, like that application that they're going to pitch. Why? They have their own rubric, okay, which is kind of secretive, but it kind of, you will know what it is, right? So they have like a rubric with a set of criteria that a student needs to meet, and they will do that and they will pitch. Also, sometimes some swim head of the college will say, you know what, we're trying to build a swim team, so can you pick a candidate who's strong in swimming? So since they look at the applications, they will be given those kind of different requirements as to how to pick and how to make that class work. Okay, and also the admissions committee may say, you know what, we are not geographically diverse. We are here in Duke, like Duke is in North Carolina, I forget where it is. Okay, we are here. We want students from Alaska. Okay, so can you get some student from Alaska for me? So that is all very secretive that we don't have an insight into. Okay, so that is how they have to go and pitch. They have to fight for the student. So make a profile that is fightable. That's what I say. Make a profile that a the admission officer fights over. Got it? That's the secret to it. Okay, and then the committee will vote. Okay, they will have cuts. Okay, because they need to fill up their class. It's like something that's very important. They need to make money, right? So what they do is they have like acceptance, right? Oh yeah, amazing. Let's accept it. Denial, I don't think the student made the cut. Okay, I don't think the GPA matched. I don't think the test score is good enough. Oh, EC is not there, or whatever it is, they will reject. Or they waitlist. You know what? Let's just put it in the waitlist pile. If we will look at other candidates. Um, if there's something significant, we will take them. If not, we will go back and check that again. So that is how the admission process works. Okay. Any questions so far about the admission process? No. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead. Okay. So again, I just gave you in a very high level as to what they're looking for, the questions that need to be answered. But here are the most important criteria in like breaking it down into like tangible categories. One is grade. We know that. Strength of the curriculum, like how much have you pushed, right? So that comes in the recommendation, the counselor recommendation or the school report, where the counselor mentions everything about how many APs are there in the school, what is the maximum number of AP a student has taken. Like for example, if there is a kid who's taken like 20 APs in that school, 20 APs student, that student is become a baseline. So anyone who's uh, like there, they will compare, or that's how they sort of give the class rank or tell you whether you're in the top 1% or top 5% in the class. Okay, so the strength of the curriculum is very, very important. It's all, so what happens is the admission officer gets all that information in the counselor recommendation that they put in. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I will answer all the questions. Okay, so that's where they get all this recommendation. What is the strength of the curriculum? What is the makeup of the school, and everything, they get it from there. Then they're looking for extracurricular activities. Okay, the activities list that is there, they look for it. Okay, then letters of recommendation. Like I said, the counselor has already. It may not be a literal letter. It is a school report. Okay, a school report, but it will have a section where the counselor will say, oh, I highly recommend this good. I marginally recommend, I don't think he's that good, or something like that. So they get that from everything, right? So that's an important thing. And let me tell you that the recommendation, counselor recommendation, is blind. Okay, you have to waive something called as a FERPA in the Common App. so that so that you tell the counselor and the college that you're not going to view your recommendation. Okay, it's blind. It will go to the college directly. So that is what it is. And also, please don't think that you can get a recommendation from somebody and upload it to the portal or anything. All recommendations are blind. You cannot see them. If you want to recommend somebody, you can only put their email ID, and the college will send a link asking for recommendation from the person that's recommending. I've written recommendation letters, which is like excruciating. You get it right. I had to remember what the student did and everything. So it's that deep. If you're putting recommend asking for a recommendation from somebody, make sure they know you inside out, not the type of blood, or like, what is your blood type or anything, but they ask like very, very deep questions. I had to spend like 20-30 minutes in filling that out. Okay. Then essays. See, they're looking at a student's what is unique about them, right? And that uniqueness or their story is told through essays. And of course, there's demonstrated interest. Okay, top colleges, demonstrated interest is they track everything, whether the student has joined the mailing list, has attended their virtual tour, or have gone in person to look at the campus and everything. Some of the colleges look at that, not every college, but they track. It's because they have to fill their classroom, and they want to see which student is deeply interested in them, right? And that is through tracking, whether they went to the website, how much time they took in opening the email, and all that stuff is tracked. Okay, but not all colleges or the top colleges look at that. Okay. Um, okay. Next is the qualities that they're looking for. We got through the grades and everything, but the qualities that needs to sing or needs to be like highlighted in your profile is love of learning. Okay, love of learning and a student's academic. Yeah, that is there. A natural leader. They're looking for leadership qualities in a student. Is passionate about something, is interested in something, and has shown some kind of outcome that they have produced. Okay, so that's something that they're looking, and they love to see volunteering and community service. If you're looking for scholarships, then it's a must to have volunteering. Okay, and also if you're applying for the pre-med or med school, like a bit of healthcare related volunteering is important. Okay, so but that's extremely important. It's non-negotiable, that you must have volunteering in your profile. Strong volunteering if you're applying for the top 20 or top 25 colleges. Okay, then I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so I'm going to dig deeper into what exactly colleges are looking for. They're looking for an uncommon profile. They're looking for the top 1%. Just like you're looking for the juiciest apple, they are doing the same thing. They want an uncommon profile. They don't want cookie cutter students that are there. They want rare kind of profiles and qualities. Okay. They also want self-directed risk-taking learners, right? Something that they went out of their comfort zone to sort of pursue, right? I had a student. I'll give you a lot of examples. I had a student who was very passionate about composting. She did that in her school. She did that in. She taught other schools to do it. She went to the government to kind of make a policy out of it and everything. Okay, really went out of her comfort zone to sort of do all of that, right? So those are some kind of rare activism and kind of interest that a student has really pushed themselves. They love to see that. Okay. And atypical extracurricular activities. They don't want like the run-of-the-mill standard activities. Yes, school clubs are there, but they're looking for an extracurricular activity that's outside the four walls of the classroom. They're looking for long-term commitment. Okay, they longer. So longevity is very important. Consistency is important, and some initiatives that they have taken. Right. So that's how you build your profile. Right. If you go to an activity and you see nearly 500 people, then it's going to be there in every student's profile, that activity, right? So, but the regional admission officer is from that region, right? And if it's that activity that shows up in every profile that he or she looks at, it's not going to be significant, right? So look for some uncommon activities.